Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we are going to talk about two of the newest, most incredible, most powerful scooters that have just been released. That would be the Dualtron Ultra 2 and the Dualtron Storm. These two scooters are serious powerhouses, and we're about to find out what's new about them and where exactly they rank compared to one another and to some of the previous Dualtron scooters as well. Are you ready? Let's do it. Okay, so here is the new Dualtron Storm. We see that it has 6,640 watts of dual motor power. It goes 100 kilometers per hour, which is 62 miles per hour. Let's take a look at this thing first before we go into the specs. So it definitely has some new design characteristics. You can see it's a little more clean cut, a little more deliberately designed than previous Dualtron models. The previous Dualtron models look really industrial, whereas this one looks like they really put time and work into the actual 3D crafting and machining of the scooter. Let's see what they have to say about it. Dualtron Storm, our most advanced high-performance electric scooter. The Dualtron Storm is our most advanced sportive electric scooter to date, with exceptional features and many improvements compared to the previous generation, Dualtron Thunder. The Dualtron Thunder was already an exceptional electric scooter, hugely popular and primed by many of our customers. We took your advice, your feedbacks, and learned from your amazing customizations to produce the Storm, 100% proudly made by our factories. The idea behind the Dualtron Storm is simple: give our customers an all-in-one featured scooter, powerful, secure, useful, well-designed, smart, and durable. The Storm is faster, more powerful, more comfortable, more reliable, goes further, and brings a new driving experience. The Dualtron Storm release is planned for 2020. We do not have a precise date for now, but we will communicate swiftly the moment our production timeline is fixed. We trust our dear customers to be patient and to support us meanwhile. Yeah, so this is a new wave in scooters. I mean, we can tell by what they've said already. Let's keep looking. This marks a new stage for Dualtron because it seems like now they're investing more money into making their scooters much more aesthetically pleasing, which might signify their new readiness to take on the global market on a wider scale. Specifications: the Dualtron Storm is equipped with two direct-drive brushless hub motors that deliver a total power of 6,640 watts, enough to take you to unbelievable speeds that exceed 100 kilometers per hour, or 68 miles per hour. Of course, we recommend to our customers to wear full protective gear while riding our electric scooters at high speeds. Concerning the range of the Storm, it is not less than 100 kilometers, as we equip the scooter with a huge battery of 72 volts and 31.5 amp hours powered by LG. LG cells are amongst the best cells on the market and should resist well to time. The Storm has many charging options. You can charge the scooter with the standard 1.5 amp charger in about 21 hours, or plug two 1.5 amp chargers simultaneously in order to reduce the charge time by half. The ultimate charging option for an additional charge is to purchase our fast charger for Dualtron Storm, which is 5 to 6.5 amp depending on the version, which can reduce the necessary time to up to 5 hours. Dualtron Storm is the perfect off-road electric scooter with the ability to climb slopes of 70% around 35 degrees, enough to climb every type of hill. Our e-scooter is definitely your best ally in the mountains. And the last page, innovations. Thanks to our thousands of Dualtron Thunder users all around the world, we learned about the weaknesses of our flagship model and answered with the right improvement on the Storm. The folding mechanism of the Dualtron Storm is improved compared to the Thunder with double tightening rings, no more handlebar problems. We equipped the scooter with quality full hydraulic brakes and 160mm discs for higher efficiency, energy dissipation, and a gorgeous look. The Storm frame and handle are made with super strong aviation level aluminum forging alloy, reference number 6082-T6. We made the rubber suspensions of the Storm adjustable with 45 possible configurations, 9-step variable suspension system, plus 5 kinds of rubber cartridge. We reinforced the crutch, aka the kickstand. Rear red lights and warning are in a higher position for better visibility. The Dualtron Storm controllers are more reliable and water resistance greatly enhanced. Finally, the process of accessing and replacing the e-scooter 11-inch tubeless tires is simplified for an easy maintenance process. You can see there's a handle there too on the compartment on the deck. That handle, I'm assuming, is for easy access to cables and connectors that previously only die-hard scooter riders and mechanically inclined individuals would dare to open up their scooters and access those compartments, whereas now it seems like they're readily allowing many people or most people to access those compartments. If you look at the previous scooter models, you can see there are less exposed bolts and beams and bars underneath the scooter. This one has a more closed unibody feel to it, almost like they're trying to make the scooter a more stylish and sophisticated looking scooter than models of the past. But before I wrap up my thoughts on the styling of the scooter, let's go back into the specs and see how the scooter performs. There are some really unique performance characteristics that can be found in this scooter that are not found in any of the previous models. So we'll dive into a deep comparison between the styling and the specifications in a minute, but first let's just look at the Dualtron Storm specification list. So the motor is listed as a 6640 watt dual motor, 6,640 watts. We'll see how that compares to some of the other really large, well-known scooters from Dualtron and other companies. It has a max speed of 100 kilometers per hour, which make this scooter top out at over 62 miles per hour. The range is listed at 110 to 130 kilometers per hour, which translates to a whopping 68 to 80 miles of range. Now, if we keep looking, a 72-volt battery is what's pretty much unheard of in a lot of these larger scooters. Top out at around 60, so 72 volts with a 31.5 ampere LG battery, meaning that the range is somewhat near the top range, where we've seen up to 35 amperes on some of the other Dualtrons and the notable Wolf Warrior. The scooter itself weighs 46 kilograms or 101 pounds and can take a max load rider who weighs up to 150 kilograms or 330 pounds. The charging time is 21 hours, which is an incredibly long time to charge any device, but given that the battery is so large and the range is so long, 21 hours may not be that bad, especially considering that scooters of similar size batteries take this long, if not longer, to charge. There are also options for multiple chargers and faster chargers, which can reduce that time. But 21 hours is the full battery charge cycle time, which can be mitigated by the fact that when you ride the scooter, you may not ride 68 to 80 miles of range with it. You may only ride a few miles, which would mean that you would only charge it for a fraction of that time, depending on how long you rode it. Okay, the next stat, the suspension. There's a 45-step adjustable rubber suspension system. I'm not sure exactly what that means yet, but I'm sure when we look at the scooter from other angles and see some live videos of the scooter, we'll be able to better understand what that means. The braking system relies on discs hydraulics brakes, which are 160 millimeters and have some sort of magnetic feature, which again we'll learn more about, as well as the wheels, which are 11-inch tubeless ultra wide tires. It also looks from the pictures as though these are road tires, but there may be the possibility of off-road tires as well. And most drastically and shockingly, we see that the scooter is covered by a 2-year warranty, which is very long for a scooter that is supposed to be out in the wild and getting abused and used, and for the fact for it to be supported for 2 years really speaks to the confidence of Dualtron on their new products' reliability levels. And you can see that some of the other models seem to have 2 years of coverage as well. We'll find out if the older models also receive 2 years of coverage, or if this is a new standard being set by more reliable quality products. For instance, one of the most popular scooter retailers in the USA, Fluid Free Rides, offers 6 months of coverage for the scooters they sell. You can see the old school Mini Motors display screen that they've been using is still being used on this new model, but on the left side, you do see some new buttons there. Okay, among their new scooter lineup, we see that there's a Dualtron X2, which is a sequel to their current flagship. There's also this lightweight scooter, the Dualtron Spider Limited version 2, which looks like a nice mainstream scooter or a medium-powered scooter that can be used for commutes. And look at the new Dualtron Ultra 2, which appears to be taking the spot as Dualtron's new flagship from the previous Dualtron X. In case you're not aware, the Dualtron X is the almost mythical beast that is packed with over 6,700 watts and has been the flagship scooter among all scooters for a long time, possibly with the exception of the Rion. But if you look at the Dualtron X, you'll see that the specs are just unparalleled amongst these smaller, small-time scooters. The Thunder, even, which has held the crown for a long time as one of the best scooters, was quickly dethroned by the Dualtron X and now appears to be in third or fourth place amongst the Dualtron lineup. If you look at the specifications for it, you'll see that it only packs a 5,400 watt set of dual motors, among a plethora of other groundbreaking features during the time of its release. As the compounding increase of features and technology continue to rank up, we now have scooters like the Dualtron Ultra 2, which if we look at the specs for, we see that it is a strong competitor, even right there alongside with the Dualtron Storm. In fact, just as I look at these specs right here, I may have to crown the Dualtron Ultra 2 as the current king of the Dualtron lineup. I know it's not released yet, but when it does come out, it will surely be contender for the #1 spot among mainstream top-level scooters in all of the scooter kingdom. The reason why I say that is because it looks to have all of the cool, new, sleek stylings of the Dualtron Storm while still having a larger battery, longer range, and weighing 6 kilograms less. Let's look at a comparison chart between the top scooters and see how they fare spec for spec alongside each other. Right away, we see the Dualtron X2 reigns supreme at 8,300 watts dual motors and the highest top speed and the highest range among the three. It also stores a whopper of a battery at 42 amp hours, also made by LG. This scooter is an absolute monstrosity. And gentlemen, there is a high probability that the Dualtron X2 will be a nearly $10,000 scooter. Okay, let's just compare these two, the Ultra 2 versus the Storm. While the Ultra 2 wins in nearly every category, it still has those exposed bolts I was telling you about, and those screws and that industrial look, whereas the Storm clearly has the newer, more advanced design. But looking at the specs, we see that the Ultra 2 wins in the following areas. Distance or range is 120 to 140 kilometers, whereas the Storm is at 110 to 130 kilometers. Both have 72 volt battery, but the Ultra 2 has a 35 ampere battery, while the Storm has a 31.5. They both take just over 20 hours to charge fully and just over 6 hours to charge on a fast charger. The Storm, however, weighs 6 kilograms more, but does seem to have the more advanced suspension system. It's touting a 45-step adjustable rubber suspension system, whatever that means, and a more advanced hydraulic braking system which uses magnets somehow. Question now becomes, would I choose the Storm over the Ultra 2 despite the Ultra 2 having a slightly larger battery and lower weight? The answer, I think, would be yes. I would still choose the Dualtron Storm over the Dualtron Ultra 2 because it seems to have the sportier, sleeker appearance on the bottom base of the deck. It's clear that they put more thought and effort into the design of the new scooter, which can translate to major long-term benefits over the previous model. So as we take a closer look at the Ultra 2, we see that pound for pound, on paper, spec for spec, the Ultra 2 does bear the superior numbers, but as we said, the design is a little bit dated and looks to be of a previous generation of Dualtron models. However, the design is not that bad. It actually is still better than a lot of the Dualtron older models, just not quite there when you compare it to the most modern Storm model. Looking back at a much older model, the Dualtron Thunder, we see that there is a big price drop that just took place, and the specs, when you line them up side by side with these new generation models, you see that there is a significant jump between the motor size, the top speeds, the battery voltage, size and range, and even the design. It's much clunkier, thicker, sports more wires that are exposed, and even the tires and suspension system all look a bit questionable when you compare them to the new and improved, sleeker designs of the models that have just come out. If we look at the Thunder in and of itself, however, and you look at the specs compared to a standard range of modern scooters that exist on the market today, you will see that the Thunder still holds its own and is still a massively impressive scooter up to this day. However, it cannot go unsaid that the new round of scooters are of a sleeker design, higher efficiency, and greater performance value for their size than we've ever seen to date. The last remaining significant factor to consider before deciding between any of these top three models would have to be price. While we already know that the Dualtron Thunder has been ranging from $3,000 to $4,000 in price depending on your region for a long time now, we still don't have an exact price on these newer model scooters, but when they are released, we'll be able to compare them based on their performance and how much they cost. So that just about sums up our comparison of the new Dualtron Storm versus Dualtron Ultra 2 scooters and seeing how they compare with the older scooters. Leave a comment below to tell me what you think, if you would ever buy a scooter that high end, and what you think about scooters becoming so advanced and so fast. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate your support. Thank you for hitting that like button if you enjoyed the video. And thank you, of course, for subscribing and turning on the bell notification if you want to be alerted next time I upload a video. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.